everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm sharing with you the brand new Sunkissed collection from Bemi Beauty Box. This is a really nice collection. I have only seen previews of it on their social media and it looks to me like a very well-rounded collection. We've got some lighter tones, we've got some bright summer tones, but then we even have some deep rich tones that'll take us into fall too. And the majority of them are really nice to swatch. Number 007. That one needed 2 thin coats, and you might have to kind of work out any shadowing with that one, but they're still really creamy. And then also number 6, so the kind of creamsicle orange color one, that one I found I needed to kind of work out the shadows as well, but everything else swatched really nice. One thing that I am noticing though is they have this nudity collection that launched. This was their first gel polish collection, and this launched earlier this year. And looking at these shades, you could easily tone down some of these brighter colors by pairing it with some of these neutrals. And I know when I was talking in that video about these different colors, some of these are fantastic background colors. So I think I'm actually going to incorporate some of these nudity colors in with the tutorial with these. Bemi Beauty Box also offers a ton of chromes, and these are very high quality chromes. If I am going to do chrome stamping, I tend to gravitate towards these ones because they just work so well. And I'm gonna try and incorporate some chromes and some chrome stamping into the tutorial too. I just wanted to pull a couple of my favorite chromes out here, or things that I've been reaching for a lot. This is their unicorn flakes. They have 2 different flakes. This is the unicorn one. I have been using this one a ton, like so much for the shop. It looks like I barely put a dent in it, honestly. But I love this for opal nails, and they're nice and thin, so when you pat them into a dispersion layer, they just kind of sit on the nail and they don't add a lot of bulk. And also they have this one, which is the gold solar flakes. So this is kind of like a holographic gold, and this has been working really well for like marbled stone type of nails, just to give like a really fun gold effect. This is their rose gold hollow, and I love this for chrome stamping if you want that true hardware rose gold color. They have another one which is just called rose gold, and I love this one as well. But I feel like this one is a little bit more champagne-y and not quite as coppery as the true hardware rose gold would be. But the rose gold is a lot finer as well. So there's those 2 different options. Those are some that I reach for all the time. And then they also have some nice colored chromes, which is great for chrome stamping, or if you want like an accent chrome nail like this one. They had this neon chrome collection that launched, and it just had some fantastic like neon chrome type of shades. With Bemi, if they are launching something, you know it's going to be good quality. So these chromes, like I said, are ones that I reach for a lot if I'm doing chrome stamping, because I know I'm not going to have any issues with them. Sometimes with some other chromes that I've tried on the market, they just don't transfer as well with chrome stamping. It's harder to get that true chrome look with them, but I seriously have no problems with the Bemi chromes. So we're likely going to include some of those in the tutorial too. But another thing that I really like about this collection is because we have the brights, I think this is going to be a good transition collection leading into fall, because you can use some of these bright tones, maybe tone them down a little bit with some of the neutrals, and it'll be a great transition collection. You can't get the collection anymore. They always do kind of, their first drops are with the collection, and then after that they're available as individuals. So the individual colors are available now.
Number 1 is a very soft lilac purple. It's kind of like an off-white purple, and it applies like a dream. You guys are going to see me use this in the demo. Number 2 is like a brighter pinky purple type of shade. It's not quite a pink, not quite a purple. Again, this one applied really nicely. Number 3 is the light pink in the collection. It has maybe a slight blue tinge to it, but overall it's a nice baby pink. The next one, number 4, is a really bright and bold coral color, and it leans a little bit more on the pink side than orange side. I feel like it's kind of showing up as an orangey coral here, but it's perfect. Now this pink is stunning. It is so bright, but the best part about it is that it doesn't change its pigment or color after it's been cured. Number 6 is kind of like a creamsicle orange color. This one, I had to work out a little tiny bit of shadowing with it, but overall it applied really nice. Number 7 is your neon bright highlighter yellow shade, and this one applied like a dream, especially for a yellow, because I feel like that's kind of a tricky color to get a good pigmentation with. Number 8 is a beautiful bright green color. I wouldn't quite call this like a highlighter green, but it is a great shade of green. Number 9 is a nice soft light blue. It has a little bit of a turquoise hue to it, but it is gorgeous. I could just see this with snowflake nails in the winter coming up here. Number 10 is a dark, rich green color. You guys are gonna see this one in the demo as well, and it is beautiful. Number 11 is a dark blue. It's like the perfect fall blue. I feel like it might be showing up a little bit brighter here than it actually is in person. And then the last one, number 12, is a deep, rich purple shade. Again, I feel like this one's showing up a little bit brighter. I wanted to talk about the collection as a whole. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat with this collection is it doesn't necessarily appeal to one season. This collection is very well rounded. We have some brighter colors maybe for summer, we have some pastels for spring, we have some deep rich colors for autumn, and then we have some colors that would look great for winter as well. And that's something that I really appreciate about this, because I feel like this collection you would get a lot more use out of because it's so versatile with all of the different shades that are in it. I haven't really seen too many brands go this route, and I'm really liking it. Also, another thing to note about the Bemi gel polishes is that they are so creamy and so buttery, but also they're consistent across the board. They all have a very similar consistency and a very similar application, which is something that I appreciate. I don't have to guess whether or not it's going to apply nicely or not. The only ones that maybe I had a little bit of shadowing to work out were the yellow and the orange in this particular collection, but even at that, it wasn't hard to do. On to the tutorials. The first one that I'm going to share with you is how to do some chrome with the Bemi chromes and some of the darker colors in this collection. So I'm going to take number 11, the deep dark blue one, and I'm just going to apply 2 thin coats of this on my nail here. And this gives you guys an idea of how beautiful they are to swatch. Make sure you're not applying them too heavy-handed because they are so pigmented. You want to make sure that they are curing properly, but even as one coat here, it goes on beautiful. And especially for chrome, you probably don't even have to do a second coat because it's going to cover up this color anyway. So I want to show you guys the oil slick chrome from Bemi Beauty Box because it is stunning. It is so nice. The creamy gel polishes cure to a somewhat tack-free finish as well. There's a teeny tiny bit of a dispersion layer, but mostly they are tack-free, which is great because they work well for just going in with your chrome right on top of them. You can also do some ombreng with their chromes too, which is kind of what I wanted to show you here. This nail tutorial is not going to be anything nice. I just basically wanted to show you that there's a bunch of different things you can do with these chromes. So right now here, I'm just ombreng it on top of that oil slick chrome. It would be kind of a cool finish, I think. Maybe if you did some other artwork with it as well. You can also do some hand painting with the Bemi gel polishes, and then because they cure to that somewhat tack-free finish, you can go right in with some chromes over top of it and do a really fun design on top of them as well. Very versatile using the gel polishes in combination with chromes. The next design that I want to demo is using some of the neutral gel polishes as a base and doing some fun marbling with kind of the pastel colors. Taking some of number 1 from the Nudity collection. This is a great lighter beige type of color. It's perfect for backgrounds of nail art. I am going to paint 1 thin coat with this gel polish, then I'm going to cure it, then I'm going to go in with a matte top coat and do some marbling on top of it. I had this vision of marbling some of these lighter pastel tones together, and I also wanted to grab some of the white that Bemi has as well. Now the white is a blue based white, so it works fantastic for nail art. So after I have those down on my palette, I'm just going to take a thin brush and just gently marble everything together. I do not want to over marble it because it's going to mix a little bit more once I drag my brush through it too. So taking a really thin kind of base coat of gel polish, I'm just going to apply this kind of where I want my marbling to go, and I'm going to drag my brush into my palette, pick up some of the color, and then just disperse it into that layer of base coat. This is going to let the colors just kind of marble a little bit. I didn't want to use something like a blooming gel because I don't want it to really disperse. I just want it to be kind of wet and have like a marbled look to it. So I'm going to cure that. I'm going to go in with a matte top coat, and there's not a dispersion layer on top of this matte top coat, but I'm still going to take a little bit of acetone and remove it because if there's any sticky left on it, the next steps here are not going to work. So I am just going to take some of the white, and remember these cure tack free, so they work fantastic with chrome. And I'm just going to outline this kind of marble look that I did here. I'm going to cure it, and then I'm going to take some of Bemi's silver chrome, and this stuff is so nice. A little bit goes a long way with it. I am just going to put a little bit down on that white here to give it a nice chromy type of outline. And the sponges that I'm using, I like to use the really small pointed end for this because like I said, you really just do not need very much of this product. After I have it down where I want it, I'm going to brush it off with one brush that I allocate for chrome. And then I'm going to go in and do some chrome stamping. So I'm using the Clear Jelly Stamper Sticky Polish and a second head that I use for the chrome. And after I've applied my sticky polish, I'm going to immediately stamp the chrome on top of it. And it gives it this really fun chrome stamping look. This is one of my absolute favorite ways to use the chromes. See, chromes are just so versatile. There's literally so much you can do with them. After I have all of the chrome off of the nails, I'm going to go in with my top coat and just top coat this kind of center here to make it look like it's a little bit raised, but also so that I have the contrast between the matte background and the shiny artwork. This is kind of what it turns out like. I like how this kind of looks like a fun unicorn, maybe galaxy type of nail. For my third demo, I'm going to show you this kind of neon opal looking nail because I really wanted to use some of those bright colors in this collection. I thought it would work great for an opal nail. So Bemi does not have like a milky white gel polish, but they do have this beautiful white gel polish as it is. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of clear gel in with it. And this is going to give it a little bit more of that milky look. And then I'm going to paint a very thin coat of this down on my nail here. And you want to work in really thin layers with this because it can get really bulky in no time. And it doesn't matter if this coat is kind of messy or anything because it's going to get completely covered up. I just want some sort of base down. After it's cured, I'm going to go in with some of those unicorn flakes that I have been raving about. And these are going to stick to the semi-dispersion layer that's left behind here. And I'm going to grab some of my brighter gel polish colors here and just put them down on my palette. So I want the pink, I want the purple, I want the green, I want the yellow, and I do want a little bit of the corally color as well. Just randomly right on top of the nail, I'm going to go in and just pat some of the colors down here. I want them to be really thin and not bulky, and we are going to thin these out a little bit more too. And I got this idea for these opal nails from Nails by Katie Dutra in our collab video. I have just been loving this look, and I so appreciate the time that she took to show everybody how to do these opal nails because they are so fun. And you can change the base colors like I've done here with something that's a little bit more neon, and it'll give you a completely different look for your opal nails. So after I have all of the colors down where I want them, I'm going to get a little bit of alcohol on my brush and just blend these colors out a little bit. I'm going to take another layer of those unicorn flakes. So again, these will give it a nice dimension. You'll see some of the ones that were lower down in the nail and some of these ones that are closer to the top coat kind of peeking through. I'm going to go in with a matte top coat and then take some white alcohol inks and just do some light veining on top of these. So I like to put a little bit of the alcohol down on the nail first, and then I go in with some of the white alcohol inks like this, so it's all really wet, and then it bleeds together but leaves behind some sort of veinings on the nails. I'm really happy with how this neon opal nail turned out. I've only ever done this technique with pastels, and I thought it was really fun to add some neon elements to it this time too. My next design is going to show you why I love the chromes for chrome stamping. So I'm going to take some of the green in the collection here, that darker rich green, number 10, and I'm going to go in with one thin coat down on the nails. After I have done my thin coat, I'm going to do a matte top coat on top of it. And how beautiful is this color matte? I think all of the darker shades 10, 11, and 12 in the Sunkissed collection are just going to look stunning matte for fall. I decided to take some of the rose gold, some of the chrome red, the neo orange, and the neo green, and just randomly put them on my chrome head stamper here. So I specifically use this stamping head just for chrome. And I'm gonna put them on here kind of randomly, kind of blend things together because I want the leaves that I'm going to be stamping here to have a bunch of mixed colors in with them as well. So after I've stamped my white down, again, we're using the Clear Jelly Stamper Sticky Polish for this, not the plain white. I'm immediately going to go in with my stamper head with the chrome on it right after it. So after I brush it off, you can notice that there's a little bit more on there that I'm going to need to stamp, so I'm going to add some more to it. And I'm just going to randomly put some other leaves that I like on the nails here and give it a really nice chrome stamped look. This one in the corner over here, I meant to kind of go in with some of the ombre looking chrome, but ended up stamping it with basically just the orange one. So you can give it some really fun dimension if you try and line up your stamper where they kind of blend together. After I have done the chrome stamping, I decided to do the outlines of it in just like a brown stamping polish, but I think the nails would have looked fine without the outline too. I really liked just the chrome leaves. I thought that looked really neat as well, but I use these chromes all the time for chrome stamping, and this is why. They show up so bold and so pigmented. It's one of my favorite ways to use these chromes. My very last design is kind of like a chrome ombre, and I'm going to show you why the gel polishes work so well for this technique. So taking some of the light purple in the collection, this is number 1, and it is so beautiful. So sometimes with these kind of lighter pastel tones, it can be really hard to work out the streaks of them when you're applying them, but you can even see as I'm applying it here, the color just kind of melts together. It is so easy to work with. I don't have any shadowing, I don't have any streaking, I really don't even need a second coat with it. It just works so nice with it. The purple that I'm going to use is Chroma Purple. It is a nice, bright, dark kind of purple chromy color. And at first I tried using a brush on the tip of the nail and I wasn't liking that so much. It was looking too faded. So I'm going to go back to my makeup applicator sponge brush here. And I want the majority of the product right on the very tip of the nail. And then I'm going to switch to a brush that's a little bit stiffer but still has some like give to it. And whatever is left on the nail, I'm going to start blending towards the cuticle. And I ended up having to do this a couple of times because it wasn't looking as blended as I wanted it to. And sometimes that just happens when you're working with pigments to kind of get this type of effect. You just have to do a couple of different layers for it. But again, because the gel polish is cured to that mostly tack-free surface, it's really easy to blend your pigments or your chromes or anything right on top of them and get a nice flawless kind of look to it. One of my frequently asked questions is where I get my Swarovski crystals from, and one of the shops that I do get them from is Bemi Beauty Box. They have a variety of them, especially some of these larger type of stones. So I'm going to go in and do a crystal design right on top of the chrome here. So usually I would use the Bemi Beauty Box crystal glue if I'm working on a finished filed surface or a matte surface, but because I was working on a shiny surface, I decided to use this gel to apply the crystals. But usually my preferred way to apply crystals is with the Bemi Beauty Box glue because it dries super fast. I really like that about it. So the crystal pattern that I'm just putting on here is just some of the larger flat back crystals in the center, and then I'm kind of creating this cascade effect with the crystals going down the nail. This nail particularly didn't really need a crystal cluster on it, but I do like to add a little bit of bling like this every now and again, especially if I'm doing some sort of look like this one where I want it to be really glam.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Definitely comment below and let me know if you picked up this collection. It has been available for order for a little bit now, so I know many of you have picked it up as well, and I would love to hear what you guys are thinking of it. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!